Dreading your day, how that could be a wake-up call. You're listening to Truth Behind the Trend, where we take some viral advice from today's top self-help podcast hosts, and we hold it up to some timely truth. I'm your host, Jen Smith, and today we're talking about insecurity, confidence, and what it really means to take your power back. The podcast host's advice is great. She says, if you're waking up dreading your day, don't ignore it. It's not just a feeling of discomfort, it's information. It's your soul telling you, hey, something's off. You are not put on this planet to drag yourself through life. And boy, do I agree with that. She says, maybe it's time to change your job, set new boundaries, have some hard conversations, stop settling for less than you were made for. I also agree. She advises that you write everything down that you dread and you start to see the patterns and the places that you've accepted, well, this is just how it is. She said the truth is you're not stuck in a job, you're not stuck in a relationship, you're not stuck in a family dynamic, not even in your own head. You can change all of that. This is where the trending advice misses the mark. The trend says fix the outside. The world tells you to fix dread by changing your circumstances, quit the job, move cities, find your vibe tribe, take a mindset course. Listen, I'm all for growth. But what if you do all that and you still feel dread? Because the issue might not be outside of you. It might be in your heart. The lie that keeps you spinning is that self-help is telling you you're not stuck, just change your situation. But what if you change it and nothing changes? Because here's what's really going on. The world is trying to fix an internal issue with external solutions. You're swapping jobs, cities, and partners, but the weight is following you. Why? Well, because you're not treating the symptoms. You're not treating the root. Ezekiel 36:26 says, I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. The answer is not just a new plan, it's a new heart. If you wake up with dread, ask yourself, am I living without purpose? Am I ignoring what God's been nudging me to do? Am I disconnected, doing life on my own strength? And have I stopped dreaming? Because that heavy feeling, it's not your enemy, it's an invitation. It's a holy wake-up call. Let's just use some guy named Mark as an example. He wakes up with dread and he thinks, I just need a change. So he moves cities, he switches jobs, starts fresh. At first it's exciting, but a few months in, the dread creeps back in. So what does he do? He moves again, new job, new apartment, new plan, new friends. But the feeling follows him like a shadow. Why? Because you can't outrun what's going on in your spirit. When Mark finally stops chasing fixes and starts seeking purpose, asking God, what was I created for? That's when everything shifts. There's 3 things that actually change everything. Number 1 is to step into your purpose. Ephesians 2:10 says, we are God's masterpiece, created to do good works. You don't shake dread by chasing ease. You break it by stepping into what you were made for. Purpose isn't found in comfort, it's found in obedience. Number 2, dream again. Proverbs 29:18 says, where there is no vision, people perish. We were born to dream. Maybe the dread is not burnout, maybe it's boredom, maybe you've stopped dreaming. Ask God, what did you put inside of me that I stopped believing for? And number 3, shift from worldly to godly. Romans 12:2 says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Dread comes when your heart is out of alignment, when you're plugged into culture more than you are to God. More hustle won't fix that. You need a reset, not of your to-do list, but of your soul. And reality check, this is not about all of a sudden changing your life drastically, but you do need to make a shift. Start with one prayer, one step, one small thing. Try something different. Try it God's way and see what happens. You don't have to tell anybody you're trying a different blueprint. Let's try a small challenge. This week, if you feel a little bit of that dread coming in, don't scroll past it, don't numb it, and don't move cities. Just ask God, what are you trying to show me? Proverbs 16:3 says, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. Dread is not your enemy. It's your wake-up call. So stop running and start seeking and watch your life change. A great place to start would be Bible 101. It's my course. It's on launchyourrocket.com. Very simple. What is the Bible? Why would I even be interested? Just start to get to know the other blueprint, because quite frankly, the world's blueprint and God's blueprint are pretty much polar opposites. Or you could take my course, Elevate, an all-in purpose, mindset, Living Your Life Launched on God's Blueprint. Take that course and we could launch your life. Before you leave today, if you're feeling dread, it's not about changing the external. It's about shifting and changing the internal so that what is inside spills out onto the outside. And then it all comes back on you. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so grateful you're here. I'll see you next time on Truth Behind the Trend.